Good evening and welcome to the December 11th, 2025 meeting of the City of Kalamazoo Zoning Board of Appeals. We're a volunteer advisory board appointed by the City Commission. Will the staff please conduct a roll call?
Sylvester?
Present.
Brandon Homburg?
Here.
Work?
Here.
Harrington is absent, but we understand she will be arriving here shortly. McReynolds?
Here.
Hahn?
Here.
For each public hearing, comments will be accepted during the times as indicated on tonight's meeting agenda. Community members that wish to provide public comments over the phone can call 888-382-9556. That's 888-382-9556 during the public comment period. They'll enter a queue and will be prompted to offer their comments in turn. Callers will be commenting to the board live and will no longer be able to leave a recorded message. Are there any announcements or changes to the original agenda?
We have no announcements or changes for tonight.
We'll move on to the acceptance of last month's minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
I get a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 None opposed. I'll now explain our procedure for tonight's public hearing. For each request, the secretary will read the application into public record. The applicant or representative will have 10 minutes to provide their comments. Following that, the public is invited to step up to the podium, starting with others in favor of the application. Clearly state your name and address and present your comments within 3 minutes. Following all comments, for those who wish to speak in favor of the request, we will then those who wish to speak in opposition may come up and do the same. Next, any call-in comments will be aired for the board and the audience. After this, we'll close the public hearing. Once the public hearing is closed, the boards will then conduct what is called a finding of fact, where the board states what they feel the facts are of the request. The board must approve the finding of fact. Therefore, the first vote you hear is not a ruling on the request, but a finding of fact. Then the board discusses the request in order to determine the ruling. The board reserves the privilege to ask questions of persons who have already spoken, even after the public comment portion is closed. Once discussion is ended, the board will move to a roll call vote. A full board consists of 6 members, with 4 votes required to grant a non-use variance or variance request. Mr. Secretary.
Yes.
Will you read the first application into the record?
An application for a variance for provisions of the zoning ordinance has been filed with the Zoning Board of Appeals by the City of Kalamazoo for 130 Portage Street in the Downtown-2 District. The applicant is requesting a dimensional variance from Chapter 50-8.5 D2B2 to erect a 2.5-foot picket fence around the ground-mounted mechanical units, where a solid fence tall enough to screen the mechanical units is required. Please note that this request will not change the zoning classification of the property. This is a request for a variance only regarding the item described above.
Thank you. Will the applicant please step up to the podium and explain the request?
Hi, good evening. So my name is Brandon Buddle. I'm a landscape architect with Smith Group. I'm presenting this on behalf of Rebecca Kick, the deputy city
What?
manager here.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Brandon Woodle, Woodle.
Okay, thank you.
And so the variance request that we are applying for is for the thick picket fence for some improvements to Farmers Alley. And so this project includes redeveloping the pedestrian open space in kind of this location within Kalamazoo, what we're kind of calling Farmers Alley. This is a property that's kind of between Farmers Alley, Exchange Place, and Portage Street. Right, today the pavement's in really pretty poor condition and the landscape as well. And so the city is going to hired us, Smith Group, to do design and engineering services for kind of redesign and construction documents for this space. And so this project includes pedestrian paths, landscape, irrigation, the fence around the mechanical equipment, a fence along the parking lot, and a security camera that's not a part of this contract, but the city is putting into the space as well, kind of concurrently with this effort. It doesn't include kind of underground utilities or any kind of curb or roadway pavement. And so this is aligned with the 2025 strategic, or the master plan, because it hits on the strategic goal of creating inviting public spaces. This is a plan of the proposed improvements to Farmers Alley that was included in your packet. And so you can see the kind of sidewalk that will get replaced after kind of removal of kind of the current pavement and landscape in there. And the kind of question at hand, right, for you all tonight is this screen fence around the equipment area. So the equipment area is existing, and today there's kind of like landscape around it. And so the reason why we are requesting a variance for this is because it is a kind of public safety concern. Included in your packet is an email from Matt, I don't know if it's pronounced Huber or Huber, but the deputy police chief with KDPS in support of a lower fence in order to kind of increase visibility through and around this space because they have had issues in the past. This kind of came up in our discussion and engagement kind of throughout the process as we were designing it. And so by having this fence be lower, you can kind of see how where the red arrow is, it's going to increase a lot of kind of visibility through this space and increase kind of perception of safety for kind of all the people that are walking through here. This is a street view of it in 2025, and so you can see kind of the existing landscape today really blocks that view to and through the space, and so it creates this kind of blind corner and creates the place where like people have kind of hidden behind or been sleeping behind, and right, kind of these other kind of issues from the KDPS standpoint. This is a view I included in your packet of the proposed conditions. A note that the landscape in this does not include all the kind of mix of species and actual kind of plants we're proposing, but it does show the heights. You can get a sense of that kind of relevant to this variance request. It also shows the proposed fence as well, like an illustration of that. So you can see kind of dashed in there, right, diagrammatically what it would mean, right, to have a full height, full screen fence, really kind of blocking visibility through this space. Here's another view kind of from the middle of the space. Again, right, you can kind of get a sense of what we are proposing here, right, and how this kind of addresses the need to kind of improve safety here. Last view, this is with your back kind of to the parking garage looking into that space. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of the details, we had that included in the packet as well. We have the construction detail. I won't go into right anything here, but you can see right the proposed height of this picket fence and the general kind of construction of it and materials. And that's everything.
Great. Excuse me. Thank you. Any comments?
Brandon, I have a question, Mr. Woodle. The company, the landscaping architectural company that you're with?
Smith Group, yes.
Smith Group?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
So this involves removing some of the shrubs that are there, some of the trees as well that are there?
Yes. So all of the landscape material, we're saving one of the trees because it's in good health. It's a great tree, so we're keeping that one. The other trees are going away. Some of them are species we don't really recommend in the field anymore. Some of them have adapted and become kind of invasive species, so we want to make sure those get out of there. And then we'll be putting back a whole number of a lot more native planting, right, in alignment with your ordinance, and right to exceed the percentage requirement actually that you have in your ordinance.
And then ground covers are being added to,
Yes.
and what's there is being removed? And
Yes. So in this view, you can see some of those shrubs. I think even since then, some of these plants have kind of been damaged, maybe in an ice storm or something like that. I'm not sure. But yes, all the landscape materials except for one of the trees, like all the ground cover, all of that's going to get removed and will get planted with new ground cover plants. It will, as in some of these views, the proposed views show like it'll cover all of the landscape beds and fill in, but the views themselves, right, don't show the mixes of plants. It's not going to be one species.
Bring, oh,
I'm sorry.
that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
all right, Mr. Whittle, how many of the trees are you removing?
2 trees.
Oh, 2, okay, thank you.
So 2 shade trees, if I'm going to get specific. There are some arborvitae that when I was out there actually today, like one of them is totally flopped over but still there. And so that's like an evergreen tree. They're all in really pretty poor condition and health. So those are being removed as well. Should be classified as trees as well.
It's trees. All right, and then I understand the woodland, you know, the greenery that I guess you'd call it the ground cover. How many deciduous hardwood trees are you going to the space going to have?
Yeah, so we are proposing to add 3 shade trees. So there's the one that's preserved. There'll be 3 that we're proposing that will, be part of this project.
Okay.
One thing I did not mention as well, the city is working with kind of an artist to wrap or paint the electric boxes. That would be part of a separate project that would follow this, but that was one thing that they're working on. And another thing that's in the works is a mural on the parking garage facade as well behind them.
Great. What is the mural going to be of?
I think that is to be determined. Rebecca has had kind of initial conversations and is working on funding for it.
With a local artist, I'm sure.
I believe so.
Yeah. So the 2 trees that you're actually removing, they're already damaged or diseased, is that correct? So they're coming out anyway?
So we did not do an evaluation of the tree health to that level where I can be judge or jury on whether or not they are damaged or diseased. One is a calorie pear, and it's a tree that we really do not recommend planting, and they have issues with kind of breaking in heavy snowfall and ice storms.
Yeah.
They become invasive and spread into natural areas, and so that's one that we certainly don't want to keep. The other one, on the top of my head, I cannot remember the species, but it was not the quality of the one that we're protecting.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll now open the public hearing and invite those to speak in favor.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
may I do staff comments first? I'm sorry,
I'm sorry. Yes.
I think I need to
Yeah,
adjust our layout there. It's probably not
Okay. Yeah.
identified in there, but just in brief, Mr. Wordle covered most of the items. Obviously, when looking at the review criteria, the special circumstances identified by staff were the uniqueness of this location. It really is boxed in on 3 sides by buildings. And part of this screening requirement for ground-mounted mechanical equipment is really just to limit the view from the public street. Well, it's only visible from Farmers Alley, which has a limited traffic flow. You can't see it from Michigan Avenue, you can't see it from Portage Street. So, the location itself is unique. And then the safety concerns was identified in here as far as other circumstances. And if looking at the diagrams that were shown, that are in the packet, you can see how it's almost like a peninsula of mechanical equipment that it projects out from the corner of the parking ramp. So to wrap that with a 5-foot solid fence would really create, yes, thank you, would really create significant blind spots, and would definitely not allow for public safety to look through the site from Farmers Alley when driving by. So, those were mentioned in the information here. And as it was laid out, it's really just trying to make this a more inviting and comfortable space. The city works hard to make its public spaces as safe as possible and also comply with the ordinances, but this is a circumstance where there's, where we can clearly see there's a conflict between. So I don't have any other comments at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll open the public hearing and invite those to speak in favor. There are none. Any opposed? Are there any call-in comments?
You can make reference to that as, one.
Put it in, yeah, got it,
I mean,
yeah.
it's really not public feedback. And I'm checking right now to see if we have any call-in comments for this request. The line is open. And I don't see any call-ins for this request.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion from the board? None? Beth, can I get a motion for the finding of fact?
I move that the finding of facts for 130 Portage Street shall include all information included in the notice of public hearing dated November 26, 2025, and the agenda packet staff provided for this request. 73 notices of public hearing were sent and 0 responses were received. Mr. Brandon Woodall of Smith Group Landscape Architect Services spoke on behalf of the project, noting that this space is kind of a triangular type piece between the Exchange Place, Farmers Alley, and Portage Street. His request for the 2.5-foot picket fence around the mechanicals versus a tall fence covering the mechanicals as required by the ordinance. He suggested also that the shorter fence is in alignment with our 2025 master plan, creating aesthetically pleasing public spaces. Some concerns with the solid fence is that it creates a blind spot so that there could be accidents or people could get hurt. The landscaping that they are proposing, they are removing 2 trees that are not known to be high quality or even recommended for a deciduous shade tree such as oak or maple. One of them, some people consider an ornamental type tree, which is a pear tree. They are adding 3 shade trees. They're also looking to wrap and paint the mechanicals and adding a mural to be determined on the side of the parking garage. Staff comments were regard to the uniqueness of the location, and that triangular piece is kind of boxed in. The zoning ordinance with a fence is geared more towards spaces and mechanicals that are completely open and eyesores, and also mentioned were the safety concerns of blocking the line of vision. There were no call-in comments for support.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Can I get a motion regarding the pending request?
I motion to approve the pending request.
Can I get a second?
I second that motion.
Okay. So can I get a roll call?
And we'll start with Sylvester,
Yes.
Vanden Hamburg,
Yes.
Wark,
Yes.
McReynolds,
Yes.
Hahn.
Yes.
You're approved.
Okay, thank you.
So will the board secretary read the next application into record?
I don't think I have that
Oh,
notice here.
okay.
Yeah, just for Brendan, she is not going to make it. Okay. Don't worry, the acting secretary will keep acting. Push it away. I didn't see it in the 62 pages. Just not to say it's not there. That. Should be. That's 1 point of Martin.
All right, good afternoon. Well, not afternoon, but, yeah.
An application for a variance for provisions of the zoning ordinance has been filed with the Zoning Board of Appeals by Valley Vision Construction and Development LLC for 124 Martin Street, located in the residential single-dwelling district RS5. The applicant is requesting a dimensional variance from Appendix A, Chapter 5, Section 5.1 of 5 feet from the required 25-foot front yard setback, building setback from Martin Street, to authorize the new single-family home to be set back 20 feet from the front property line. Please note that this request will not change the zoning classification of the property. This is a request for a variance only regarding the item described above.
Thank you.
Yes.
Will the applicant please explain your request? You're already at the podium, so thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Darnell Clay, and I'm representing Valley Vision Construction and Development.
Okay.
So the Martin Street development has gone extremely well. Phase 1, we completed 113 and 116 Martin, to say the least. The homes turned out awesome, beautiful. I mean, from the inception, the original vision of that cul-de-sac, everything just turned out great. And it makes me proud to be a part of it and to have the vision And to see it come about is, I'm just without words. And so the phase 2, which is the 102 and 124 proposed, after you build a couple houses and you walk the property, you see the landscape, you see the flow, the layout, the aesthetics, there's just some tweaks that you could change if you would. And so even though, so after doing that, our original request expired. And so we are here to get that reinstated, but as well as the other variants, kind of just shimmy the house over a little bit to be complimenting to the neighbors according to what we're trying to do over there. So we just noticed it was just a little narrow, so a little push 5 feet would make a world of difference for mowing the grass, getting in there, hauling back and forth, in and out, just yard space, and even maintenance on that side of the home. So that would have been a disservice if we didn't request that additional 5 feet, I feel. So that is why we are here today. And that's about it. But most importantly, I'm very proud to present and thank you initially for the first round and any of those to come over there. I just want you to know, as residents and leadership of Kalamazoo, that project is really awesome. And I've heard nothing but good things in the stories and the testimonies. And if you saw the pictures and the impact that it was making, it's just, oh man, it's really cool to be a part of. So. What we're requesting, we feel are extremely reasonable accommodations. We are making the absolute best use of that space. We are definitely right in line with the 2026, 2025 city's master plan as far as what we're trying to do with infill lots. And so we're right in the pocket, and we just respectfully request this reasonable accommodation.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Eldridge, would staff like to make any comments related to this request?
Mr. Clay covered a lot of it, but yes, this is a infill project that the city is very happy to see happening. The 2 homes that have been built, yes, they are impressive. When I drove out there to look at the sites one more time, they do look really nice, really nice. Love the porches, the varying siding. I mean, they really do fit well with the neighborhood. And of course, the site we're talking about is at the end of the cul-de-sac, between the end of the cul-de-sac and Crom Avenue. This exact same request was before the board March 9th of 2023. The board did grant it unanimously, and but since then, as far as the waiting for utilities to get extended through the cul-de-sac and other other items that took time, all of a sudden we were up against, or shall I say past, that 1-year expiration of the board variance. So that's what is bringing this particular one back tonight. Looking at the particulars related to this lot, so this is a double frontage lot. The depth of the lot is only 66 feet. So that limits the positioning of the building envelope. And then on top of that, there's a utility easement that's 20 feet wide on the south side of the property. So, I could see where it was a challenge figuring out the location, and then we, of course, had to look at what about the frontage on Crom Avenue. The average setback for the homes on Crom Avenue is 10 feet. So this new build is allowed to sit 10 feet back from the property line on Crom. And so it will meet that requirement. It will meet the 5-foot side yard setbacks. It just will not meet the 25-foot setback from the property line on the cul-de-sac of Martin. So that's where the 5-foot variance is from the Martin Street frontage. I also wanted to mention, because part of that, when this was before the board in 2023, was questions were raised about what is the back of the house going to look like from Crom. And I included in the packet the kind of elevation view showing some windows on the back side of the house. So it won't be a blank wall of siding facing Crom. There will be some windows. So it will, it will not look out of character with the other homes on Crom Street, other than it's a new build. But there will be windows on the back side and landscaping and so forth. So I wanted to make reference to that, but yeah, given the double frontage lot, the utility easement, and the shallow depth of the lot, those were the hardships that were noted, and staff does not have any other comments tonight.
Great. Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing and invite those to speak in favor. None? And any opposed? None? Are there any call-ins?
And we're checking for call-in requests for this case right now. The line is open, and there are no call-ins for this request.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Any questions?
Pete, if I understand you correctly, you're saying this is, but for these windows that have been added to the rear of the structure, this is the identical request that was previously submitted and was approved?
Yes, the elevation view was submitted after the hearing, because at the hearing, questions have been raised about what would the back of the structure look like from Crom. So staff indicated they would work with the developer to make sure that, there was, windows, appropriate windows or number of windows in the back of the building to, help it blend from the Crom Avenue frontage.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for adding that information. And so the reason we're back here tonight is because the variance approval was expired, and the expiration occurred because of delays caused by utility connections?
It's, when the variance was granted, I believe both water and sewer hadn't been run through the cul-de-sac yet, or was it just?
Don't quote me exactly, but it was during the same time frame. I don't believe, it definitely all was not. It was very close. But between that and state stipulations on when you can break ground and when you can't, in regards to funding and zoning and approvals, caused it to come to a halt and have to be revisited to the board. So it was a just domino effect, state funding and things like that. It kind of caused delays, and so.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Can I get a finding of fact?
I move that the finding of facts for 124 Martin Street shall include all information included in the notice of public hearing dated November 26, 2025, and the agenda packet staff provided for this request. 47 notices of public hearing were sent and 0 responses were received. A public hearing was held before the board. Public comments were accepted, but there were no public comment. Darnell Clay of Valley Vision Construction and Development was here to present and talk about the project. He's very proud of the project, and it has turned out great. He was here in 2023 with the same request, essentially the same request, and it was approved then, but the timing of many variables impacted the request, and it came to expire, so he's back now. It's an infill project with impressive homes and properties, and it fits well within the neighborhood. The additional 5 feet of setback will make a world of difference for the residents to enjoy and care for and live in the space. The depth of the lot is only 66 feet, which makes it challenging, furthering the case for the additional 5 feet of setback, and they're in compliance with all the other setback requirements. And that concludes my finding of fact.
Excellent. Can I get a second?
I second that finding of fact.
Okay. We'll take a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 None opposed? Can I get a motion regarding the pending request?
I make a motion to accept the pending request.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay. Mr. Eldridge, can I get a roll call?
We'll start with Hahn,
Yes.
McReynolds,
Yes.
Wark,
Yes.
Vanden Hamburg,
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Congratulations. You bet. So does the board have any other action items?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
We got to walk through the second request before you leave.
102. Gotta repeat.
We have 2. You don't even have to talk about the next one. We're just,
Say same thing?
yeah.
Shall I read this into the record?
Yes, Mr. Secretary,
Okay,
please.
here we go. An application for a variance for provisions of the zoning ordinance has been filed with the Zoning Board of Appeals by Valley Vision Construction and Development LLC for 102 Martin Street, located in the residential single-dwelling district, RS5. The applicant is requesting a dimensional variance from Appendix A, Chapter 5, Section 5.1 of 5 feet from the required 25-foot front yard building setback from Martin Street to authorize the new single-family home to be set back 20 feet from the front property line. Please note that this request will not change the zoning classification of the property. This is a request for a variance only regarding the item described above.
Thank you.
Yes.
Will the applicant please explain the request?
Again, this request here was after we had Hurley and Stewart come out and do a building marking. It's the difference between looking at something on the paper and in a PDF compared to being in the field live. And so when we were able to see those, markers standing 4 foot tall with the bright pink markings on them, we had noticed right away that if we could do anything more to use some of that yard space of that corner lot, then we would. And so just giving it a quick look and walk, we noticed the world of difference it would make if we had the ability to slide the home roughly 5 feet over into the corner lot, because there is so much more space. That would allow us to avoid a large existing deciduous, I think it's maple, that's been there for quite a while, that is mostly part of the neighbor's yard. But it just makes the world of difference from getting back there if they ever want to pull a car back there, and prevent us from even having to cut the tree down, because where the marker is on that tree, there's no way that you could get the foundation in successfully without doing that. And again, we just noticed that right off the bat. And so there was a fraction. I mean, theoretically, if you dug and moved it off, I mean, no one would probably notice, but to be by the book and be right on point as far as those markings that we pay quite a bit of money extra for, as we proceeded, we figured, you know what, while we're going to the board, let's kind of propose this as well. So that way we just, we feel good about all of the space altogether. So that is how 102 Martin request came up. So between the tree and being able to use so much more space of that corner lot that is on our property, it just makes the most sense. Again, just another reasonable accommodation.
Thank you. Mr. Eldridge, would staff like to make any comments related to the request?
Sure, I'll make a few brief comments. So, yeah, so this site is uniquely different than the other site because it is a corner lot, so there's two front setbacks, one from North Burdick Street, one from Martin Street, and then the rear is to the east and to the south, where there's an adjacent home that is considered a side property line. So this variance request will allow the building to be shifted from the original positioning, which was closer to the side property line to the south. It'll shift it further to the north towards Martin Street. And the large deciduous tree that was noted by Mr. Clay, staff went out there and took some pictures, some additional pictures, and put those in the staff report. You can also see all the staking that was done, identifying the footprint of where the proposed home will go. So not only is the mature tree a special circumstance, but also while looking at this and looking at the site layout, it was noted that the adjacent house to the south is 1 to 2 feet off the property line. So if this new home is constructed exactly 5 feet north of that line, it would leave somewhere between 6 and 7 feet between the two structures, which, so that was a secondary reason for staff supporting this request to shift the house 5 feet to the north. And then in addition to that, as far as character of the area, the opposite corner of Martin and North Burdick Street on the north side, it is, that home is roughly 10 to 12 feet off the Martin Street property line. So shifting this proposed home 20 feet from the property line on Martin, is not going to be out of character with what's directly across the street on the opposite corner. I think that was, yes, that was all that I wanted to make sure I touched on as far as the staff comments. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing and invite those to speak in favor. None? Opposed? None? So we'll check for calling comments.
And we're opening up the line for call-in comments for 102 Martin Street. The line is open. There are no call-ins for this request.
Board, is there any further discussion? Any questions? None. Great. Can I get a motion regarding the pending request? Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to get out of here, don't I? Can I get a motion for finding of fact?
I move that the finding of facts for 102 Martin Street shall include all information included in the notice of public hearing dated November 26, 2025, and the agenda packet staff provided for this request. 59 notice of public hearing was sent, 0 response were received, no additional documents were presented. There also was no voice messages at the time being. Some of the facts that we have here is the shadow depth at 66 feet are related to special circumstances with frontage on 2 public streets and 20 feet utility easement for water and sewer across South Street of the site to extend onto Martin Street. Some other things were the applicant did not cause special circumstance utilities would have to cross the end of the cul-de-sac to get to the lines on Chrome Street. Also, the Orients is going to already reduce the shadow by the developer by additional 5 feet. This is not normal to have double frontage lots within the shadow depth. The back of the house will also align with all other setbacks on the street. And there is no adverse effects to any properties in the area. This variance will be consistent with other orients that we had in the past. And that is it for the finding of facts.
And Mr. Chair, if I could just add a correction. So, Mr. McReynolds, the depth, the 66-foot depth, that was for the first Martin Street property, 124. So we can just, make note to strike the 66-foot depth, the utility easement, the double frontage lot, those 3 items. The other items, as far as it being set back and being in character with the surrounding homes, that's all fine. I just wanted to make sure we had aligned the right facts, since we have 2 properties on Martin Street.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I get a second?
I second the finding of fact.
Thank you. We'll take a voice vote. All in favor? Aye.
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 So can I get a motion regarding the pending request?
I make a motion to approve the pending request.
I second.
Mis-
This application, the first one, but especially the second one, reminds me of the challenges of developing in a mature city, right, with mature locations like this, with a corner lot, with, mature landscaping that you're trying to, at least one particular tree, and a non-conforming neighbor who's close to the lot. I mean, it really is challenging to do infill development, so it's commendable what you're doing. Keep it up.
Yeah, the surveying work wasn't quite what it is today,
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Yeah, so it's really challenging to make use of these sites. It's great that you're figuring it out.
Yep.
And we appreciate that.
Mr. Eldridge, can I get a roll call?
We'll start with Sylvester,
Yes.
Vanden Hamburg,
Yes.
Wark,
Yes,
McReynolds,
Yes.
Hahn.
Yes.
the request is approved. I think you're done tonight now, right? All right.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
exciting.
you. We appreciate you. All right. Any other action items?
The only action item we have is I included the meeting schedule for 2026 in the packet, and if there's no questions about that schedule, I would like just a voice vote affirming the 2026 meeting schedule.
Has everyone reviewed it? I have. I was okay with it.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get a voice vote? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
There we go.
And we have affirmed the schedule. And it is simply like, it's
always.
the second Thursday of each month, and then we check the holiday, where the holidays fall to make sure there's no conflict, and then we put it all together as the schedule. So, all
Excellent.
right.
So if there's nothing else, we can adjourn this meeting.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to Kalamazoo and You. This is a program where we have conversations with City of Kalamazoo staff on important issues and topics in the City of Kalamazoo. I'm Mike Smith. I'm the Communication Manager for the City of Kalamazoo and your host. On this segment, we are talking about the Kalamazoo Foundation for Excellence and its impact on the City of Kalamazoo. And with us to talk about the Foundation for Excellence is Steve Brown. You are the Executive Director of the Foundation for Excellence, so welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the Foundation for Excellence.
Great. A lot of people may have heard about the Foundation for Excellence, but they really don't know what the Foundation for Excellence is. Mm-hmm. So talk about what the FFE is and its impact on Kalamazoo.
Absolutely. The Foundation for Excellence is a unique nonprofit endowment that was created in 2017 with the mission of lowering the taxes, supporting the city's budget, and funding aspirational projects in the city. It came after years of economic challenges to both the community of Kalamazoo and the municipal government of the city of Kalamazoo.